I still remember the exact moment my heart cracked open like a fault line in the earth, watching my little girl stand in the doorway of a house I bled for, clutching her stuffed octopus, while my own blood told her she wasn't welcome to stay the night. That's the image that haunts me. Not the ocean view, not the salt-stung air, just Lila's wide eyes going dull when my sister Claire said, calm as ordering coffee, "Your kids can't sleep over this summer. It's going to be tight with the boys here." I'm Nolan, 42, cardiothoracic surgeon. I cut people open for a living and somehow still couldn't cut the rot out of my own family. 3 years ago, I poured every overtime hour, every skipped vacation, every sleepless night into a down payment on a weathered gray 2-bedroom in Laguna Beach. Not Malibu glamour, nothing that flashy. Just a quiet cottage 2 streets back from the water, with creaky teal shutters and a porch swing that groans like it's telling secrets. $1.1 million and a mortgage that still wakes me up some nights. But it was mine. Ours. Mine, Milo's, and Lila's. My son is 11. My daughter's 7. After the divorce, that house was supposed to be the place where weekends felt like breathing again. My family never saw it that way. To them, I was the ATM who finally hit the jackpot. The one who made it out of our dusty Central Valley town. So naturally, everything I built belonged to all of us. I paid mom and dad's property taxes every spring, $6,000 without blinking. I floated my brother, Shane, $25,000 when his food truck folded. When Claire and her husband Derek decided their twins needed the right preschool for future networking, I covered half the tuition because family helps family. I never kept score. I just did it. And slowly, without me noticing, the Laguna house stopped being ours and became the family beach house. They'd text, "Can we take it Memorial Day weekend? Just a quick getaway." Sure. Then 4th of July. Then the whole month of August because the boys love the routine. Sure. Every time I planned to bring Milo and Lila down, someone had a conflict. But when it was just them, they were there in a heartbeat, posting sunset photos with captions like "living our best life at the family beach house." Heart emoji. Tag me, of course. I told myself I was being petty. Surgeons don't have time for petty. Then came the Saturday, everything shattered. We'd driven down early, Milo buzzing about the new boogie board I'd surprised him with, Lila singing made-up songs to her octopus. The kids raced inside to claim their spots. Milo had already mapped out where his telescope would go on the back deck for stargazing. I was unloading groceries when Claire walked in with Derek and the twins, arms full of Costco bags like they owned the place. The boys immediately kicked off sandy flip-flops and bolted through the living room, trailing melted popsicle down the hallway I just had refinished. One of them cannonballed onto the cream linen couch with a slice of watermelon. Red juice bloomed across the cushion like blood. Claire didn't even glance over. She just smiled at me and said it. "Your kids can't stay the whole summer. It'll be too crowded with the boys here full time. You understand." Not a question, a statement. Milo froze in the doorway, boogie board still under his arm. Lila looked up at me, like she was waiting for me to laugh and say it was a joke. I felt something inside me go very still. "Excuse me." My voice came out quieter than I expected. Claire laughed, light, breezy, the same laugh she used when she asked to borrow money. "Nolan, come on. We talked about this. You're always on call. The boys need stability." Derek already ordered new bunk beds for the second room. It's basically their space now. Their space. In the house that still had my name alone on the deed. The house I'd slept on the floor of during renovations to save cash. The house I'd painted myself at 2 a.m. after 18-hour shifts so the kids would have somewhere that felt like magic. One of the twins chose that moment to knock over Milo's telescope case. It hit the floor with a sickening crack. The lens cap rolled onto the couch. "Oops," the kid giggled. Claire glanced back. "Careful, buddy." Then to me. "Anyway, it just makes sense." Milo knelt slowly, picked up the cracked case, and didn't say a word. His face didn't crumple. It just emptied, like someone pulled the plug on every light he'd been carrying inside him. I felt my hands start to shake, the same hands that hold retractors steady while a heart fibrillates on the table. Dad wandered in from the deck, beer in hand. "Let go, Nolan. Kids will be kids. It's just a house. Just a house." That night, they wanted a toast. The sun was bleeding orange across the water, the kind of sunset people pay millions for. Mom insisted on a family photo on the deck. Adults only because the light is perfect. Milo and Lila were sent down to the sand to play quietly. I watched my son take his sister's hand and lead her down the steps. He looked back once. I nodded like everything was fine. Dad raised his glass. To real family. And to our beach house. May it stay in the bloodline forever. Everyone clinked. Claire added, and to generous brothers who know how to share. They laughed. I smiled for the photo. Then I checked my watch. Everybody out. They thought I was kidding. The food's not even. Everybody out. Open house starts in 20 minutes. Silence. Dad frowned. Open house. I'm selling. You've got 14 days to remove anything you've left here. Derek actually went gray. You can't. Already did. Realtors on our way. Cash buyers. I walked down the steps, called the kids. Milo came running, Lila trailing behind, still holding her octopus. They didn't ask questions. They just followed me to the car. Mom's voice cracked behind me. This is our family home. No, I said without turning around. It's my home, and I'm done paying for a place where my children are told they don't belong. We drove home in the dark. The kids fell asleep against each other in the back seat. My phone exploded, texts, calls, voicemails. I let it ring. Later that night, after tucking them in, I sat at the kitchen table and did 3 things. First, I canceled the automatic payment that covered my parents' property taxes every year. Second, I removed myself from the authorized payer list at the twins' private school. Third, I opened a new savings account labeled OURS. I transferred in the exact amount I used to send my family every month for emergencies. The next morning, my parents showed up unannounced. Mom didn't even say hello. You're really selling our beach house? My beach house, I corrected. Yes. Dad shook his head. All this over one comment? It wasn't one comment. It was every comment. Every time you let them act like Milo and Lila were guests in a house I bought with my life. Every time you toasted to real family while my kids stood on the outside looking in. Mom tried tears. We put money into it too. The grill, the umbrellas. You spent maybe $2,000 over 3 years. I've paid over $250,000 in mortgage and taxes. We're not doing the math. Dad went for guilt. After everything we sacrificed for you, you helped, and I paid it back 100 times over. But help isn't a blank check to hurt my kids. They left angry. I didn't care. 2 weeks later, the house went into escrow. Cash offer, 10 days close. The new owners are a young family with 2 little ones. They asked if the porch swing stays. I told them yes. It's perfect for reading bedtime stories. I kept one thing. The cracked telescope case Milo left on the kitchen counter that night. I glued it back together myself. It's not perfect. There's a visible seam. And for the first time in years, when Milo looks through it, he's searching for stars we're going to find somewhere that belongs only to us. So tell me, if it were you, standing there while your own blood erased your children from a home you built with your bare hands, would you have forgiven them? Or would you have finally drawn the line? Thanks for watching. Keep supporting. Do subscribe for more stories.